Back with another video for you today. Today I'm talking about a fragrance from the house of Bottega Veneta, a new house that I recently started speaking about on this channel called Illusione for him, a 2019 launch. If you want to find out about this new release from Bottega Veneta, then please stay tuned. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian with Smelling Great Fragrance Reviews. If this is your first time tuning into my channel and you love watching fragrance reviews, finding out about new fragrances, discovering new brands, and of course participating in giveaways, and still haven't subscribed to the channel, please click that subscribe button below and also click the bell so you'll be notified for future videos and giveaways. So I'm actually slowly starting to get into the Bottega Veneta house. It's a house I've known about. In fact, I really love their original women's fragrance that was combining rose and leather and I think patchouli as well. It was very masculine for a woman's offering, but I know the men's fragrances came out and I kind of like just skipped them for some odd reason, but now I'm kind of coming back to discovering them, and the original Bottega Veneta Pour Homme is a great fragrance. In fact, this one kind of hints at that a little bit, and I think it's because of this fir balsam note in here. But let me tell you all about this one. So this is Bottega Veneta Illusione for him. There is a For Her edition. The For Her edition is in the Eau de Parfum concentration. This is actually an Eau de Toilette concentration. Not sure why they decided to do different concentrations from the same name release. But this is a 90 ml bottle for $118. And the perfumer is Antoine Maisondeau, according to my research online. So what do we have for notes in Bottega Veneta Illusione? So we got at the top notes lemon and bitter orange. In the heart notes you've got fir balsam, white cedarwood. In the base notes you've got vetiver and tonka bean. Not a lot of notes going on here, but you know what? I really like this one a lot. That's why I picked up a bottle to let you know all about it. There are some negatives though, but let me tell you the positives first. This actually is such a great release as far as the smell goes compared to everything else that was just coming out recently. Like I sampled the new Carolina Herrera, new Issey Miyake, just countless different fragrances, and every one was a pass for me. Just a very disappointing collection of fragrances. Even the new Jean-Paul Gaultier, disappointing. So this one actually was a change of pace in the styling. It doesn't remind me of those offerings. It kind of goes in that direction of this weird tonka beanie kind of sweet aquatic amber wood kind of offering fragrances, which kind of is very disappointing. But this one actually is a breath of fresh air as far as like a smell goes. It smells great. So the fragrance starts off with a very prominent lemon note at the top, along with a bitter orange. For me, what's standing out is the lemon because it's very citrusy, and then you also get the bitter aspects of the bitter orange rather than the oranginess. So it's a bit bitter and lemony at the top. Very nice citrus opening that I really liked about this one. Now, the fragrance to me is mostly about fir balsam. It smells like fir balsam and it's an amazing smell. And this fir balsam is also present or prominent in the original Bottega Veneta Pour Homme. So fir balsam reminds me of the forest, and I really love the way it smells. I love pine tree smell, cedar tree smell, and all of that stuff that's in the forest, especially when it's cold outside and you can kind of smell it along with fire. So this is the great part about this fragrance. It's a great smell and I really love it. So there is a little bit of that white cedarwood thrown in here as well, so it's a nice woody combo of the fir balsam and then the white cedarwood. The fragrance dries down to a vetiver with a little bit of tonka bean, and here it's great that the tonka bean doesn't stand out because personally, I'm kind of getting burnt out of designers using tonka beans so much. I love tonka beans, don't get me wrong, but when the designers do it, it doesn't really end up smelling great. The tonka beans here in this fragrance are not as prominent. It's just a very faint touch when the fragrance is drying down, because to me, I don't experience a lot of the base notes because the fragrance is on the lighter side to me. And that's the negative part about this fragrance. It's on the light side, and even though it's a woody fragrance, it's considered a woody fragrance. Woody smells, to me, are thick and dense. This one doesn't act like that whatsoever. This is a very light woody experience. In fact, whatever denseness woods have, they've removed it and they've made it very see-through. like you can see through this fragrance because it's so light. And that's the unfortunate part about it, because I think the current generation likes the lighter, airier, and maybe transparent, translucent kind of fragrances. They don't want the heavy ones. In fact, I pretty much enjoy those kind of fragrances myself. I want them to be really, really big in your face kind of experiences. This one's definitely not that kind of a fragrance. It is on the classy side though, don't get me wrong. The smell is really, really great. I enjoy the smell a lot. The combination of the lemon, the prominent lemon note with the fir balsam is outstanding. And again, it does remind me of Bottega Veneta Pour Homme a little bit. Not with the lemon though. Lemon doesn't exist in the Bottega Veneta Pour Homme. It does exist here a lot. So, but the fragrance is on the very, very light side. It's a skin scent for me. It's mostly a skin scent. When you first spray it, you do have that cloud, but then it disappears so fast it becomes mostly a skin scent. So for this one to last at all, you want to spray it all over your clothes in multiple sprays. As you can see, I've been wearing it quite a bit. And to experience the fragrance, you do have to do a lot of sprays with this one. Now that is if you like your fragrances stronger, because there are some of you out there that like fragrances that are skin scents, and they don't want you don't want the fragrances to be like really loud and project too much. Then this is the kind of fragrance for you to try. I mean, especially for the smell. The smell is excellent. I really, really enjoy the smell, and thankfully it doesn't match or act like the fragrances that are the designers I just mentioned to you, that I really, really was disappointed, like the Carolina Herrera, the new one for men, disappointing. Wood and Wood from Issey Miyake, disappointed. Jean-Paul Gaultier, disappointing releases. It's like I wanted to pick them up and review them, but I don't want to do negative reviews as much on this channel. This is a positive review, but there are negative, you know, things about this fragrance, unfortunately. It does stand out as far as the smell goes, and that's what I like about it, and that's why I had to pick up a bottle, because I want to let you guys know mostly about the smells here. A lot of people mention you never covered the longevity, and the reason I don't usually cover longevity is because we're all different people. We have different body chemistry. The only times I'm going to mention to you if a fragrance is intense is when it's beast mode, and I usually say that when I'm reviewing a fragrance if it's intense, but most of the time, most designer fragrances for me are very, very moderate. They're not overwhelming. They're just kind of moderate to even below moderate as far as performance goes. So this one, unfortunately, is on the very light side. It does linger as a skin scent, but very, very, very close to the skin. It's a very, very light scent, which makes for a great scent to wear in the summertime or for office settings, because you don't want to overwhelm your colleagues when you're at work. You don't want to be known as the guy that wears the cologne that's coming down the hall every time with this big, loud fragrances. This is a very, very, great offering for an office scent, but that's pretty much it. It stops there as it is. Very, very light for me. I wish it was maybe they're planning on doing an Eau de Parfum version and maybe a more intense version of this one. We shall see, because this is Eau de Toilette compared to the woman's, which is Eau de Parfum. But I don't know this kind of things, and I don't even know how this fragrance is doing out there. I mean, have you guys thought about this one, Illusione from Bottega Veneta? Are you a fan of this house, Bottega Veneta? Let me know that. Put some comments down so I find out. But it's a little sad that it is on this lighter side, but then again, I think they're going for a generation that likes their fragrances to be on the light side, and that's not how I was raised. I was raised to overspray my fragrances, and I kind of wish those days were back. But going back to, let's say, the 80s when I first discovered, well, the 70s is when I first discovered fragrances, but in the 80s I was wearing those powerhouses. This probably would have been a flop in the 80s. I think it wouldn't definitely match the kind of fragrances that they were launching back then. Again, I think people have gotten a little maybe sensitive to smell. I don't know. Is that true? Are you guys sensitive to fragrances? But anyway, it's a great smell. I love the way it smells. I just wish it was a little louder and a little more intense and a little more longer lasting. But anyway, a pretty solid offering from Bottega Veneta Illusione, a 2019 release. Guys, are you familiar with this fragrance? Have you smelled it? Also, if you work at an office, do you wear your fragrances loud, or do people have a problem with it or issues with it, and you are forced to wear your fragrances more on the quiet quiet side, which this would be perfect for. So anyway guys, thanks so much for watching this review for Bottega Veneta's Illusione. If you have any questions or comments, please do list below. Please like this video, please share it, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.